The Mormons don't drink alcohol, neither wine, even though in the Bible seems that the wine was, even Jesus seems he drank wine. Well, I don't think Jesus did. And the reason why we don't use alcohol, because the Bible, especially in the Old Testament, and even after that, is warning us it's a terrible thing. Anyway, we will prove that Jesus didn't drink wine, and we take the Bible as a witness to show that alcohol is a terrible enemy for our health. Why God gave us the word of wisdom? I would say that a loving father, when he sees his child in trouble, for example, if the child sees the fire, he likes the fire because it's warm and it's wonderful, and the child goes closer because he want to touch it, and the father forbid him, and so the child think, why my father doesn't love me? Because he didn't touch it, because if he touched it, he knew his father was right. So let's see about the Bible, from the Bible, what it says about alcohol and everything else correlated. Proverbs 20, verse 1, wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. Isaiah 5, verse 11, woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may flow strong drink, that continue until night, till wine inflame them. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5, yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire hell, and is as death, it cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. If we analyze, several scriptures, you will see something very interesting. For example, when I was a bishop, I had a brother who told me the same, about Jesus had wine at the Last Supper, and so at that time I didn't know well the scriptures, and I was in some way confused. So I was praying, trying to receive help. And after the prayer, I was reading Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 5 and 6, and I was disappointed. I have to be honest. In fact, this verse says, and I have led you 40 years in the wilderness. Your clothes are no waxen hold upon you, and thy shoes no waxen hold upon thy foot. You have no hidden bread, neither have you drank wine or strong drink, that you might know that I am the Lord. So here the Lord, says that they didn't drink wine, and so I was pretty happy. But going forward at chapter 32, verse 14, this is where I stumbled and I was, confused. Butter of kine and milk of sheep, with fat of lambs and rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats with the fat of kidneys of wheat. And thou didst drink the pure blood of the grape. So it seems like, they were drinking wine, even though it says the pure blood of the grape. But at that point, I didn't pay a lot of attention, right? But what happened, if you go ahead in the chapter and you arrive at verse 23 and 34 and 44, it says here something different. For that, speaking about the wine of heathen, of Gentiles. In the verse I quoted before, I was talking about the wine of the Hebrew. Now he's talking about the wine of the Gentiles. For their wine is the wine of Sodom and of the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of gall. Their clusters are bitter. Their wine is a poison of dragons and the cruel venom of asps. So at that point it was clear to me that the Bible was talking about two different kinds of wine. One, the pure blood of the grape, just grape squeezed, not fermented. The second one, the heathen wine, was a poison. Well, in fact, if you go in Daniel chapter 1, verse 8 and 16, but Daniel purposed in his heart that he wouldn't defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. It was the wine different, the wine which he drank. I have found, I did a search clearly, and I have found that in Hebrew there are two words to define wine. Tirosh means sweet wine, means grapes squeezed. It doesn't contain alcohol. And Yahin, it means wine with alcohol. That's why there were two different wines. We could drink one and the other not. Let's see. Now, let's go ahead and see what kind of wine Jesus could have drink. Matthew 26, verse 27 to 29. And he took the cup and gave thanks, and gave it to them, saying, Drink ye all of it, for this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the wine. Why? It doesn't say just wine, but fruit of the wine. Until, okay? So I went in Mark chapter 14, verse 23 to 25, and he took the cup, and when he had thanks, he gave it to them, and they all drank of it. And he said unto them, This is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many. Verily I say unto you, I will not drink no more the fruit of the wine. It doesn't say wine, but fruit of the wine. Luke says, and he took the cup and gave thanks, and said, Take this and divide it among yourselves. For I say unto you, I will not drink of the fruit of the wine. So we have here three different apostles, Mark, Matthew, and Luke, in three different places, in three different times, because the Gospel, they were written in different times. They never use the word wine, but they were always use the fruit of the vineyard. So why they avoid to use the not tirosh, no yahin? Because it could be confused. Okay, we know that Jesus is the greatest priest ever born, and we know that the priest couldn't drink alcohol or strong drink. Luke 1 verse 15, For he shall be great in the sight of the Lord, he shall drink neither wine nor strong drink, and he shall be filled with the Holy Ghost. So this is referring to John the Baptist. I guess Jesus was greater. So, in fact, in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19 and 20, what? Know you not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, which you have of God, and you are not on your own? For we are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body. Okay? So, I would say that Jesus, he didn't drink wine, but he drank the grape squeezed. In fact, if you go and see what Joseph in Egypt, it says he drank that kind of wine. Anyway, it's very interesting that in three different gospels, in three different places, in three different times, the apostles always avoid to put the word wine because they knew it could be confused because there were two different kinds of wine, yahin, alcoholic, and tirosh, no alcohol. And Jesus couldn't drink alcohol because he was set aside. He was the greatest priest ever on earth, and the priest didn't drink alcohol, and so he didn't.